Leaving Outer Station, we pass through the railroad's North Reading Yard. A great deal of freight is gathered here and assembled into trains to serve customers as far north as Hazleton, Scranton, and even Tunkhannock. Approaching the northern limit of North Reading Yard, we pass NPX-1 on our left and Packaging Corporation of America on our right, two important customers of the railroad. We sail under busy U.S. Route 222, formerly known as the Road to Nowhere, and cross the main branch of the Schuylkill River on the picturesque Peacock Lock Viaduct. It is known as a pierced spandrel bridge because there are actually large circular openings between each arch and the bridge deck. It is believed to be the only bridge of this type in America and is named for a nearby lock on the long-defunct Schuylkill Canal. This unique span was designed and completed by Gustavus Nichols for the Philadelphia and Reading Railroad in 1856. Nichols, himself a prominent Philadelphia and Reading officer for more than a half-century, was also the force behind the design and construction of Reading's original outer station, which was opened in 1874 and stood until 1978. From here to Port Clinton, we will loosely trace the western bank of the main branch of the Schuylkill River. The main branch of the Schuylkill River is 135 miles long and empties into the Delaware River at the site of the former Philadelphia Navy Yard. The name Schuylkill was coined by Dutch settlers and means hidden river and refers to its confluence with the Delaware River. Entering West Leesport, the train sounds the whistle for the Lee Street and Main Street grade crossings. This is a popular spot for photographers, which we will see many of today, as it is situated at the extreme north end of one of the longest stretches of straight and level track on the entire railroad. If you were to stand at ground level here, you could literally see the train coming northbound for miles. At the north end of the yard, we cross Main Street in the small community of Mohnsville. The next crossing is of Shoey Road, named for the nearby borough of Shoemakersville, located just across the Schuylkill River. Entering West Hamburg, we pass Cormart on our left at the former site of the Reading Company's West Hamburg passenger station. Immediately after that, we glide over West State Street and under Route 61 at virtually the same time. As the track straightens once more, we cruise under extremely busy Interstate 78 and approach Industrial Drive. Also just ahead, the railroad goes to double track at Muller Interlocking.
Looks like a dealer. That's a dealer. Or a place where they can store them if they can't store them where they live. Just went over switch.
Well, they won the. I know you're. Kim won the lawsuit.
Lowland Road tightly follows the tracks to our left in this area. Very shortly, we will pass under a trestle of the former Pennsylvania Railroad Schuylkill Valley branch, which was built in the 1880s to compete directly with the Reading Company's main line. This is now part of the John Bartram Trail, which is a segment of the Schuylkill River Trail running between Pottsville and Philadelphia. Just beyond the trestle on the right is Kernsville Dam on the Schuylkill River.
There's the dam they were talking about.
We pass under Route 61 yet again as we approach Fort Clinton, the operational headquarters of the Reading and Northern Railroad. As I mentioned earlier, we will be stopping at Fort Clinton Station to board more passengers at the platform in front of our corporate offices. As we will pause only long enough to board those passengers, we ask that no one get off the train during this stop, with the exception of designated train crew members. Fort Clinton, home to the Fort Clinton Hotel, served as a stagecoach stop between Sunbury and Philadelphia in the early 1800s. The Fort Clinton Hotel was a great social center where news from other states and even foreign countries was exchanged. In fact, it became customary when signing the hotel register to add any news that one thought might be of common interest. The Schuylkill Canal was an important transportation link. The last boat to leave Port Clinton's once crowded basin was the Mary Rose, which took a load of coal to the State Sanatorium at Hamburg just before the outbreak of World War II in 1939. The railroad became the dominant form of transportation in Port Clinton from the mid-1800s on. Port Clinton is located 78 miles north of Philadelphia on the former Reading Company main line. Today, Port Clinton is an important crossroads on Route 61, just north of Interstate 78. Port Clinton Station, next stop.
Locomotives. What's got smoke coming out of it? It's running. Pick up some coal cars today somewhere.
As we cross Broad Street, watch to your left for our recently expanded roundhouse, the very place where the 2102 was proudly restored to operation, our turntable, and our wheel truing shop. The turntable is actually from the Monongahela Railroad in South Brownsville, Pennsylvania, and fit nicely into the old Reading Company pit, which was unearthed in 1998. On our right now is the Little Schuylkill River. We will cross over the Little Schuylkill numerous times along our route.
Give it a chuck, but I'd miss it.
Having rounded Black Oak Curve and passing under Route 61 for the fourth and final time, we enter the small community of Molino. Route 895 will follow our line for several miles to the left of the train. The open fields along Route 895 make the area an ideal place for rail fans to photograph our train in operation. Look for them at several more locations along our route.
I've seen them all on several ways. do that myself.
Well, they're just crocheted water balloons. You soak them in water and throw them in. There's not no wet water. Got no legendary trait for lieutenant.
We are crossing Hawk Mountain Road in Drehersville. Here we turn away from Route 895 and curve around the base of the mountain for which the road has been named. Watch for white-tailed deer and wild turkeys in this remote area. You may also notice on your left one of several evergreen farms that cover the rolling hills of this area. As a matter of fact, this area is one of the largest suppliers of Christmas trees on the East Coast.
Just as you're going into the tunnel, we're coming to.
How soon?
As we enter New Ringgold, the 2102 whistles for the Route 895 and 443 crossing, or Hughes Street. The tracks pass right through the center of town on a long straight line, making this another popular spot for photographers.
We're here.
You have to go down and around.
It's the star.
Alan, that tunnel just past this door.
It would be a couple days though.
New Ringgold, wherever that's at.
Right, almost where your fingers are right there.
Okay, Alan, we're here. It's right up here.
Got about half an hour or so.
About a half hour, yeah.
I guarantee we can get in so much trouble when they tried to go up here and
Oh, you mean to sit over there? This will be something you can actually tell us, Mom. Dad.
We are crossing Schuylkill Road in the remote community of Hecla.
Don't get tired standing there. Nah, not him.
We have to come out.
You drive that thing at 50 miles an
Yes,
hour.
all the houses are small houses. They're old houses. They didn't build big houses back then.
I just waited until I had to wait to go. That wasn't enough to
Folks are about to pass through a sweeping S-curve at a location called Atlas. Those of you seated on the left side of the train should be able to see the 2102 negotiating the curve. And a few moments later, those of you on the right will see the same. This location is named for the former Atlas gunpowder plant, a dynamite works which produced explosives used in this region's prevalent mining industry. The site is now home to Copperhead Chemical Company. Copperhead manufactures pharmaceutical-grade nitroglycerin used in heart medications, as well as explosives used in propellants, fuel additives, and defense munitions applications. We're crossing River Road in the small community of Reynolds.
If we want to, we can stay on the train and return there. Jim
Emerging from the woods and entering the anthracite region, Route 443 appears to the right of the train at a location known as Zaner's. Due to the wide open field of view, this is another popular place for photographers, and we'll probably see them pacing us along Route 443. The spur track on the right is the nitrate siding that serves Maurer and Scott.
Longer ones are ready, and then we run those with floods. The rest of it well, if there's something possible to do, they don't do some festival or something up there.
Is that what that is?
Good shot there.
Oh, wait, that's the power. I should have asked them.
Well, that's the night. We don't go overnight. So it has to be the same day. I mean, you could buy 2 tickets, I suppose. But typically, it's the same day. And we're also running over
At South Tamaqua, we pass through the coal piles in the Premium Fine Coal Company, a classic anthracite region setting. Very shortly, we will enter another segment of double-track railroad and equilateral interlocking, and Tamaqua Yard, where we will see even more freight awaiting distribution to local customers.
I think that's probably just low-grade coal. It's not worth burning.
Just a little bit, thank you.
Those big ass balls here.
Thank you. It's coming up, okay. I guess I'll go over here for the moment. Oops. Are you heading that way? I'm gonna go down the stairs if it's okay. Thank you. Excuse me, tight quarters.
Enjoying yourself, Pat?
Huh?
Enjoying yourself?
I'm trying not to fall on people. Of course, my balance is.
Trying to keep from falling over people. That will be a display up in the yard.
Our next water truck. Don't say that. Really think you
No, they figured something out to do with
the
this.
amount of money they put in that water truck, they could have actually won one time.
Excuse me, everybody wants to get up there for the tunnel.
Entering downtown Tamaqua, we see our Greenwood running track emerge to the east. Watch to your left for the old QA telegraph office of the Reading Company, which dates back to the 1880s. The odd shape of the building is due to its location inside a wide track that once existed here to connect Tamaqua and Pottsville. As we cross Broad Street, watch for the former Reading Company Tamaqua passenger station on your left, built in 1874. The structure barely escaped demolition several times since passenger service was discontinued by the Reading Company in 1961. In 2004, the Tamaqua Save Our Station group proudly completed a $1.5 million renovation of the building. The beautifully restored station now houses a restaurant. In 2020, Andy Muller and the Reading and Northern Railroad spent tens of thousands of dollars to restore and extend the platform to trackside, which allows for station stops here on select passenger excursions. In 2023, the United States Postal Service immortalized the Tamaqua station on a postage stamp, one of 5 railroad stations in the country to be so honored. As we continue through Tamaqua, we'll cross Elm and Rose Streets and begin to climb the hill toward Barnesville. This will be the toughest test the 2102 will face on our trip today, as it tackles the steepest grade on the route. Also, folks, as we are about 1 mile from the Tamaqua Tunnel, at this time we ask that all doors and windows on the train be closed and all movement between cars cease, in order that the smoke and ash from the steam locomotive does not enter the cars during our passage through the tunnel.
Yep, thank you. Yep.
Once again, folks, all doors and windows on the train should be closed, and no one should be moving between cars at this time as we approach the Tamaqua Tunnel, which was bored through the mountain in 1854. As you might guess, we will cross the Little Schuylkill River on both sides of the tunnel.
Getting ready to go through the tunnel now. There's no windmill.
In the village of Barnesville, Route 54 appears to our right. The Tuscarora State Park and White Birch Golf Course are on the hill to our left. At East Mahanoy Junction, or as some locals call it, East Mahanoy Junction, our branch to Mount Carmel diverges from the main line. Look carefully between the two tracks for the brick base of the old wooden water tank that once stood here, as well as the former Reading Company passenger station, which is now a residence. The sprawling EMD electronics plant, formerly Versum Materials, is on the left side of the train. Look for white-tailed deer and turkeys in the fields surrounding the plant. We'll next cross Fairview Street and Church Road in Rush Township. We'll dive into the woods once more, but only briefly, as we approach the Hometown High Bridge.
Well, that's a big complex.
That's what I was thinking.
Folks, we're now approaching what has to be the scenic highlight of our trip, the Hometown High Bridge. The bridge in its current form is over 160 feet high and over 1,000 feet long. It is supported by 8 riveted steel towers anchored by 8 concrete piers. The Little Schuylkill River, now just a stream, will be directly below our train. To the left of the train, you can see the dry dam on Nyford Creek. As we go over the bridge, feel free to take all the damn pictures you wish. Yes, thank you very much, folks. I'll be here all day. But anyway, to give you a little history of the Hometown High Bridge. The first incarnation of the bridge was completed in 1870 when this line was first built. It was made entirely of wooden timbers. The threat of fire caused by the hot coals and sparks from steam locomotives was a constant problem. To safeguard against this, 2 watchmen were employed to inspect the bridge following the passage of every train. They lived nearby in company-owned homes and worked 12-hour shifts. In the event of a fire, wooden barrels filled with water, along with buckets, were placed on either side of the bridge approximately every 100 feet. It should be noted that in those early days there were no side railings on the bridge. However, the wooden structure was built in such a way that any piece of timber could be removed and repaired without having to stop train traffic from crossing the bridge. In 1896, the wooden bridge was replaced by a steel structure, and in 1931, the Phoenix Bridge Company rebuilt the bridge into its current form. It was originally intended to be a double-track bridge to carry a planned main line running between New York and Chicago. During World War I, owing perhaps to its strategic location, the bridge was guarded by soldiers against trespassers and intruders. During World War II, security guards provided by the railroad watched the bridge around the clock. The last time the bridge was guarded in such a manner was during the 1948 presidential campaign of Harry S. Truman. Truman traveled over 30,000 miles across 28 states, giving over 350 speeches from the platform of his private rail car, the Ferdinand Magellan. The famous news photo of Mr. Truman holding up the November 3rd, 1948 Chicago Tribune article erroneously proclaiming Dewey defeats Truman was taken from the platform of the Ferdinand Magellan at St. Louis Union Station.
This high bridge. It's 160 feet high down to the river. Oh my God! The bridge is 1,000 feet long. I had to write it down. I wouldn't remember it.
On our left is Greenwood Lake, or what remains of it. Due to needed repairs to a retaining wall, the lake has been drained completely, but is nonetheless surrounded by beautiful fall colors. You can see the vegetation growing on the lake floor, as well as the tree stumps, once submerged but now hanging on by the roots. Or if you're one of our former managers at this railroad, they're hanging on by the roots.
Bunch of dead trees down here.
Yeah, they were underwater at one time. Underwater kills them.
This one
There was a dam here, but the thing wasn't safe, so they...
We're passing Lake Hauto, that's spelled H-A-U-T-O, on our left. Contrast this scene with what we saw moments ago at Greenwood Lake. This 330-acre spring-fed lake was originally built in 1883 as the Hauto Dam. It is now privately owned and used by boaters and fishermen. The Lake Hauto Club, a private lakeside resort community, can be seen on the North Shore.
That'd be a bummer, man.
On the left is the Westchester Plastics Division plant, formerly Amatec. This plant was opened in 1975 and is the nation's leading independent compounder of engineering resins, alloys, and other thermoplastic materials. are entering Nesquehoning, the last small town we will pass through before Jim Thorpe. We're greeted on the left by the newest additions to the Reading and Northern Railroad, the buildings that are being transformed into our Nesquehoning campus, and our new Nesquehoning Regional Railroad Station. You can see the station platform and canopy on our running left. This location is ideally situated right in the middle of our main line between North Reading and Pittston.
That's a building.
Nesquehoning itself was founded in 1830 by the Lehigh Coal and Navigation Company to provide housing for the employees mining anthracite in the nearby Room Run mine. The tracks pass directly through this residential neighborhood. Nesquehoning, we pass under Route 93, which begins just south of our location at a junction with Route 209. Route 93 climbs up and over Broad Mountain and runs up to Hazleton, becoming the main thoroughfare in the city. At Jim Thorpe Junction, we diverge onto the Jim Thorpe Branch, while the main line continues northward to Pittston on our bridge over the Lehigh River. More than 20 years in the making, this bridge opened for service in February of 2020 and allows the Reading and Northern Railroad a progressive move between North Reading and key points north, such as Penobscot, Pittston, and Tunkhannock.
So I'll be here by myself. So I'll probably stretch out here and lay down. So, all right. You heard good news. Boy, you just made my daughter happy too.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Well,
Thank you.
I think one of the reasons that they waited so long, they were trying to search out possibilities in
Yeah,
Jim
I
Thorpe.
understand. If I knew
Because
there
we
was
don't
going-
even own a wheelchair. They were looking to see if the visitor center had one, and
Evidently
because
don't.
if we got you off, then we'd have to get you back down the platform to get on.
Last time we were here, there was somebody, a young girl, in a wheelchair, and they picked her up and put her on a lift.
We have the lift.
Just east of Jim Thorpe Junction is Nesquehoning Junction.
We don't have a chair.
This, along with Jim Thorpe Junction and River Junction to the north, form a Y that allows trains to be completely turned around.
It weighs
Think
around
of this as you would a
260
three-point
pounds.
turnaround in a car.
Well, that can be
This is
I
the
mean,
method
on
we
a car
will
like
use to
this,
turn our
where
passenger
you gonna
consist
put it?
around
No,
for the
you can't
southbound
put it
route
here.
during your
They
stay
had
in
a
Jim
place to
Thorpe.
put it.
The Lehigh Gorge
When I
Scenic
got out of the
Railway
car,
train is the
I
one that
got
you will
on
have the
go-kart
opportunity
and
to
they brought me
ride.
down to the car.
It operates out of the
When we
Jim
get
Thorpe
off,
Station
like,
and into the Lehigh Gorge
my
State
daughter
Park on a
goes to
16-mile,
bring it back for me
45-minute
to
round trip.
Ride it back to the
You'll be
car.
able to ride the 1 o'clock,
I'm sure
2
they'll have
o'clock,
to
or
park
3
when we
o'clock
get
train
back
into
to
the
Reading.
Lehigh Gorge, but
Yeah,
no
they did
later
that-
than
they
3
did
o'clock.
when- This
If you
spring
ride
when I
the
got
4 o'clock
home.
Lehigh Gorge
We don't
train
have a golf
and hope to
cart
get back to Port
in
Clinton or
Jim
Reading
Thorpe.
on this train,
What?
more's the pity. You will arrive back at Jim Thorpe at 4:45 p.m. only to discover that we've gone bye-bye. Tickets for the Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway train may be purchased at the booth located at the west end of the station platform and are subject to availability. We'll very soon be entering the rail yard at Jim
There's a
Thorpe.
plug right in
Its
the middle.
original
I know
engine
there's a
house
plug
was
in the
torn
middle.
down in 1945 to make room for the large turntable. The turntable coming up on the right is operational and is sometimes used to turn our other steam locomotive, number 425, when it is used on passenger excursions. Today, the 2102 will use the Y at Nesquehoning, River, and Jim Thorpe Junctions to turn before returning to the yard for servicing. When that is completed, the 2102 will be on display and open for cab tours just west of our Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway ticket booth from approximately 1:30 p.m. until 3 p.m. We encourage you to stop by, greet our fantastic steam crew, and take as many photographs as you wish. As we continue through the yard, we'll pass under Pennsylvania Route 903. Jim Thorpe's Memorial is located on Route 903 at the end of town. Route 903 heads toward Blakeslee deep in the Poconos. Jim Thorpe is on the southwestern tip of the Pocono region, which includes Carbon, Monroe, Pike, and Wayne
Get your
counties.
sandwich and your bottle of
Millions of
water.
people visit the Poconos each year to participate in outdoor activities, stay at one of the dozens of resorts, or take sightseeing trips.
What a fiasco.
Okay, it's plugged in there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
As we pass under Route 903, we'll see on our left the excursion train that came from Pittston, and on the running right, we'll see the third passenger train I mentioned. Composed of 2 of our self-propelled rail diesel cars, or RDCs, this train came from Pottsville. Also on the track, on the far running right side, closest to the wall, we'll see the outbound at 12 o'clock Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway train go by. I'm going to creep up to the station and wait for it to clear, and as soon as it's out of the way, we will go into the station and discharge passengers.
Oh, over underneath the highway.
Yeah.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will return to the station immediately following the departure of the 4 o'clock Lehigh Gorge train. Boarding will begin at approximately 4:05 p.m., and we will depart Jim Thorpe at 4:20 p.m. sharp. Remember your coach number, as you will have the same seat for the return trip. The train will not be accessible while we are in town, therefore please take anything you may need along with you. You may of course leave anything you wish on the train and no one will bother it. Remember to carry your ticket stubs with you, as you will be required to present them to your car attendant prior to reboarding the train later this afternoon.
And then left everybody.
And finally, folks, one other important point of order. Remember that we will be completely turning the train around. Therefore, the last car to arrive will also be the last car to leave this afternoon. Your seat will be facing the opposite direction, and you will be sitting on the other side of the train on the return trip. Again, boarding will begin at approximately 4:05 p.m., and we will depart promptly at 4:20 p.m. Please be on time and make sure you board the correct train. The other trains operating in Jim Thorpe today are not going anywhere close to Port Clinton or North Reading, and to say the least, it's a long walk back.
That's not an easy feat for a man of your age.
It's not even easy. It wasn't even easy when I was 20. Here goes the Gorge train.
Goes Reading lesson.
I was just, that's what we said.
That's the train going up the Gorge.
How far up
They
there?
run every hour, 45-minute trip,
How far up do they get?
7.5 miles. That might be 8, somewhere in there.
Okay.
They go to a place called Old Penhaven that once was a town. Now there's nothing there.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as our conductor has the train properly spotted in the station, we'll give the okay to your car attendants to detrain you. Please exit the train only where you see a uniformed car attendant with an open door and step box. Please follow their instructions, such as take your time, watch your step, hold on to the handrails, and look down as you exit. You do not want anyone to get hurt. Our arrival at the station will conclude our northbound trip, and we'll see you back here on this train at 4:05 p.m. Until then, Ruskian is saying so long.
Is that more like the main line over there? That's more like the main line over there. This is just a siding in the Jim Thorpe. Yep, there's cosmic kettle corn.
His grandmother said he's in here. Well, he has to back in.
Is it here?
I like that.
See if you can find it.
Oh, it's funny because the one's got
I'm sorry, sir.
well, good. And the other one's got
So she might disagree with you on that.
inside the track.
That's what was that cam recorder would have worked. Evidently that plug was dead. My coat pocket. How many more times you gonna ask me that?
He left the line for the train.
those are.
basically when the coal.
Do that though. Me too.
Well, the town actually technically bought them from the town. Yeah, they actually bought them from the town. Like the association, like the historical association, basically bought them.
Well,
There's a noticeable.
they had to have electric because the lights were on.
Really famous.
Really though, because it looks like it's melting.
Jim Thorpe Yard.
And so there's an inmate.
I know what he's showing how to pull. I used to have
Yeah, battery daily. I guess they got some to bring the battery down in it.
So they actually successfully showed the handprint like disappearing on the wall. And they said it's like they said, but the wall basically led back.
Now the batteries are in the camera.
Yeah.
Now,
Nesquehoning Junction.
old. The one I won't put in my old truck.
This one was 86.
comfortable in here.
Yeah, I want to stuff too.
It was comfortable in here.
That's what they're doing. They don't know even buy the insurance system, so it's expensive to get back.
Jim Thorpe Junction.
That's awesome.
Why is it so flat? It's just all super Photoshop pictures of it.
It is. It's probably not real.
You get the glamour shot. Look at this.
Oh, dude, that's real.
It's fantastic.
I like how there's
Chevy came there.
big swamp for 62. The 62 was like
This guy finally put it in fact, no valve comments in, putting it flat down.
Hey, sir.
Nesquehoning.
That is small. Right now, you really have.
Oh yeah, that's.
I didn't put that door against the wall.
I saw that.
Put that against the wall, out of your way. Yeah, right there, that's great. Thank you, sir.
Working very well.
Nesquehoning Campus and Nesquehoning Regional Railroad Station.
I can imagine Brian.
Exhibit Swamp.
That's a swamp there. That's swamp.
Lake Otto.
Really?
Greenwood Lake.
Charge my phone is 70%. Well, Lighty doesn't have MagSafe.
Oh, I just said it.
Do you want to charge your phone?
I charge one of those that sits in the bar. Oh, the top. I charge my phone that.
What a charge.
I put it in airplane mode. Put it in airplane mode. This is tomorrow, right? No.
Ladies and gentlemen, once more, the hometown high bridge.
Go back, it's pretty cool.
EMD Electronics.
Yeah, with the guy with the big. Just sitting there, weight van with the. That's their tonnage. Pulling the trailer. This was Mike was on that I see. The minivan.
Folks, we are once again approaching the Tamaqua Tunnel, but since we are going downhill and the 2102 is not working nearly as hard, it will not be necessary to close the doors and the windows. Tamaqua Yard. Bowser's Crossing.
Go on YouTube, like, you'll be able to watch like a truck live of all the people chasing the train on like 2 weeks on the train. It's just gonna be hilarious because it's just like you're just gonna see the misting of it. It's just
Premium Fine Coal Company, South Tamaqua.
Yeah, it was a 19 when I turned it off. Turned it back on. It was at 13 years.
Pass through that great big S-curve at Atlas. Folks seated on the left side of the train will see the 2102 at the head of the train first, and then soon after that, you folks on the right will see the 2102 snaking its way through the rest of the curve.
Pulling out to the right.
Drehersville.
Imagine finding the guy that bought this truck and showing him that picture.
That's some nice holes in the truck right now. Certified highway. People standing on top. Right up there. Yep. They run the whole way down. That's the nicest.
It will never happen.
Molino. Folks, for those of you that boarded the train at Port Clinton, we are approaching the station. We will be stopped only long enough to change steam crews and discharge Port Clinton passengers. Therefore, all other passengers are asked to kindly remain on the train. Port Clinton passengers, if you'd like information on future schedules, including more fall foliage excursions, visit our website at www.rbmnrr.com or call the railroad at 610-562-2102. Again, that's on the internet at www.rbmnrr.com or by phone 610-562-2102. Once we stop, Port Clinton passengers, please exit the train only where you see an open door and step box with a uniformed car attendant. In this case, that would be Joseph and Lionel, or rather Larry. Please follow their instructions, such as take your time, watch your step, hold on to the handrails, and look down as you exit. We don't want anyone to get hurt. We certainly hope you enjoyed your trip today and that you'll come back and see us again soon. Bye-bye.
The more high-pitched whistle is the one that he gets so excited about. Like the whistle going off right now, he's astonished by it. What's the other one? So I've heard people refer to it as the signature.
Early June, finally got them all off.
Next and final stop is Reading Outer Station in 16 miles. Reading Outer Station is next. Outer Station passengers, as we depart Port Clinton, please watch to your running right side and give a hearty round of applause for our daytime steam crew of Shane Fredrickson, Ryan Boucher, Brian Messinger, Travis Prevost, and Keith Strobel for getting us to and from Jim Thorpe safely. Again, they'll be standing on the running right-hand side near the diesel locomotive shop. Taking over for this evening are more members of the famous Fredrickson family, Engineer Chad, and Firemen Ryan and Sean.
There are a couple old engines.
Yeah, I think they probably will never be restored. I think he bought them because he wanted an F unit like that and figured that was all he was ever going to get a chance at. Then Norfolk Southern put their fancy F unit from their company business train up for sale. We bought that.
They used to have the.
Oh, now you can see in the shop tonight.
You used to get down to Kennett Square and sign a release and ride on the Ontario Railroad.
Uh-huh.
Ride a cab. I rode it out to Chad's boarding up one day. We went up to Molino, which is just south of Coatesville. And there was a whole yard full of those engines just waiting to win the Lucas steels to be scrapped.
Yeah.
I mean a whole rail yard load of them.
Right.
They were just waiting to win
Yeah.
the Lucas steels to be scrapped.
Well, that's where most of the stuff ends up.
Yeah.
Going under Route 61, Pulpit Rock will be coming up here on the left. A lot of people broke their necks jumping off of that. Going by here.
That feels like it's time.
Now they answer our phone.
I'm happy.
Well, his phone's dead. His phone somehow or other cut off. Something with the billing end of it. 'Cause I did try calling. If she didn't answer mine, she ain't gonna answer yours.
Hello, 912.
I just tried calling you and you didn't answer. Okay. Hey, when the train gets in the Reading, you come help your mother and I and just pull our laptop and run and get that golf cart. Okay. Alright, bye. She was sleeping.
Well, her and Dr. did a lot of walking around.
You should have stayed.
Muller.
You should have stayed on here with me, because it was comfortable with you. You should have stayed on with me then, 'cause it was comfortable in here.
Walked around and did some walking.
Always that thing's still alive.
They did, but I did some walking.
West Onboard. Folks, our passage over the Schuylkill River on Peacock's Lock Viaduct marks our entrance into North Reading Yard, and that means we'll be arriving back at Outer Station very shortly. From Outer Station to Jim Thorpe and back, we covered a total of 120 miles on today's trip. On behalf of the staff and management of the Reading Blue Mountain and Northern Railroad, I would like to thank all of you for riding with us on this, our 7th Fall Foliage Excursion and the final steam train of 2025. For information on other exciting rail excursions, visit our website at www.rbmnrr.com or call the railroad at 610-562-2102. Again, that's on the internet at www.rbmnrr.com or by phone 610-562-2102. We hope you enjoyed your trip today and that you'll come back and see us again soon. Rusty Anna saying good night, everybody.
Pat's supposed to do that.